How's everybody doing? We are on here again with Australian Survivor, season 9, episode, I believe we're at episode 3, right? Episode 3. Last we left off, we had Brianna going home because she spazzed out. She got voted out. The main person leading the charge to get her out was, in fact, Khan. I think it started with Chrissy because they had that conflict, but just by the way she was acting, where she was just uh, searching for idols like right in front of everybody, it then became Khan's mission, because after seeing her act like that, and he gathered a bunch of people to sort of get her out, which was a smart move. The best way to gather allies is when you're uniting against someone else, because then once you have that circle, you can use them again for a different vote. So it was an excellent move on his part. All right, so we're gonna do a little show and tell of the blood team or the red team. Let's start with right here. This is Croc, and he is Chrissy's brother-in-law. There we go. Oops. And there we go. Amy is, move that there. Amy is Khan's sister, I believe. All right. Jordan, let's see. So we have Jordan here, and I believe he has a cousin on the other team. I can't quite remember what his cousin's name was. All right, Jordan. All right, go Sam. Get Sam right here. She's a returning player, and I believe she's also Mark's wife. They have a kid together. I still don't know if they're married or not, but they have a kid together. Next is, oops. Someone. All right, there we go. All right, there's Ben. I believe he's Shay's boyfriend. All right. All right, go. And here's Kate. And I think that is Andy's sister. I think Andy was the first one voted out. And here we have Jay. Jay, what is his relationship? I don't know. Maybe I just haven't been paying attention to the person he's related to. Maybe he's also cousins with someone. I don't know. All right. We have Jesse, and he is Jordy's brother, I believe. Michelle. She's one of the twins, and I think the other twin's name is Mel. So it's like Michelle and Mel look the same, chubby Asian girls. Yeah. There we go. Sophie. I think she has a sister, blonde girl. Can't remember her name. There we go. And then we have David. David, he's Brianna's father. Brianna is the one that got voted out last time. And I believe he only decided to play Survivor because of her. She's a Survivor fan. He's not. He has no idea what he's doing. And of course, you got Sandra, two-time Survivor winner. And now she's playing Survivor Australia with her daughter, Nina, I believe. All right, so we come to this week and everyone is happy. They got Brianna out. Shay voted to get Brianna out as well. She didn't play her idol to save Brianna. And yeah, everyone is just happy about the vote because Brianna was honestly spazzing out and she was not making allies very fast. She made an ally with Shay, but then after that, she just became a liability to Shay's game just by the way she was acting. And yeah, so we come to this week and we have the first, I think when, because even before they even found out who got voted out, the red team was discussing what would happen. And they were talking about, David was talking about how devastated he would be if his daughter got voted out. That was before he even knew. And at that point, Sandra was already eyeing him to get rid of him because he doesn't really know the game that well. He's only playing because of his daughter. And she was already eyeing to get rid of him because rookies make rookie mistakes. And she was trying to get rid of him. Coincidentally, when Dave decided to start playing the game, he wanted to get rid of Sandra. That was his first target. He thought she was dangerous. And there was a lot of people that wanted to keep Sandra. They said they wanted to keep this tribe strong and she's very useful. And I was like, no, she's not. Sandra's never been useful at all. Sandra is the most useless person you can have on your team. She's terrible in challenges and she's always plotting against you. There's no benefit at all to keeping her around. She's not a hard worker. She doesn't do anything. But every time I've seen her play Survivor, people want to keep her around. They think she's useful. It's like, why? I just don't understand. I just don't understand it whatsoever. So we get to the first, there was just a lot of talking and plotting, and Khan decided to solidify like sort of a working relationship. I guess you can't really say they want to work together, but keep it secret. So he wanted to form a relationship with Mark because Mark is a strong player and he's a social player, and he wanted to form that sort of bond there. And I think Nina was also trying to do the same with Mark. And she's also a very strong social player. So at this point, Mark is in a good spot. No one is looking to get rid of him, and everyone is looking to work with him. So excellent. As long as he doesn't mess up his social, because he doesn't talk a lot. So as long as he doesn't mess up those relationships and people are coming to him to form relationships, he's in a good spot. The only problem is when he actually wants to get rid of somebody that might be a threat to him, all those connections that he has to go through someone else. And what if that is the person that is the danger to him? He's pretty much locked himself in a position where he has to rely on these people. And if he gets towards the end with them, they're most likely going to take him out. And he has no power to stop that because he doesn't have the numbers that he needs. He just has them and they have the numbers. So it's a bad position to be in, but that's the way he decided to play his game, because he's just not that social. So he's playing to his strengths. So you can't really knock it. So we get to the first reward challenge. Trying to get a little picture of it. Okay. No, that's not a good. All right, there we go. That's good. All right, here we are with the first reward challenge. And what they have to do is someone has to swim out with a rope from each team, hook it onto these barges, and they have to pull it back. And then when they come back and they go back out for the next one, pull it back. When they got both barges landed on their side, then they have to unpack all those sandbags. I think it weighs around like 60 pounds or something like that. Unpack the sandbags and then take it through the obstacles. I think you have to crawl below this one. No, was it? Yeah, between this one and below this one, and then park it right there. So they have to do that as many trips as it takes to get all the sandbag over there. And after they get the sandbags there, loaded up, and they build a platform, and one of the players step up onto the platform and pull a handle up there, which releases smoke, and that is how you win. All right, so the challenge starts. It was going well. The red team had a lead right away. The blue team eventually made up the lead a little bit, but they just didn't have the momentum that they needed. I think because I don't know, that for some reason, all the people that the blue team have voted out so far, because they kept losing immunity challenges, have been rather stronger players. So they've left themselves with a lot of weak players that can't really lift much. And these challenges have just been physical. So they kind of got their butt whooped on this one. And for the reward for this challenge, they get to choose a couple of items from a survivor pantry. And they have to first elect one person to go and collect the items. Sandra tried to get herself elected. Like, she raised her hand immediately and she tried to get everyone on her side to get herself elected. She knows there's going to be an advantage there if she goes. So she tried to do that, but because Brianna was voted out, everyone felt sorry for David, and they eventually chose David to go instead of Sandra. So David got to go, but he got to choose someone from the other team to go with him. And immediately he chose Khan. And he chose Khan because he thought Khan was trustworthy, but he didn't know that Khan was the one that basically led the eviction of his daughter. He had no idea about that. Khan was nervous about that because, I mean, he just kind of got her evicted, and, you know, this is he has to go there with this guy. So David goes there with Khan. He gets to choose. Hold on, show you a little. All right, he gets a choice. They can choose. He can take all three items. He gets three items. He can choose all three and keep them for himself, or choose two and give one to the other tribe, which would be handing it to Khan. He got there and he's choosing through the items, but then they get through this note right here. This note basically says, this little necklace right there is a two-part idol. When combined, it's a super idol, which means they have to share it between the two of them. And when they regroup during the merge, if they combine the super idol together, they can play it after the vote is cast in order to save one of them. But separately, it's just an individual idol. All right, so they had to split that. And then it came to the items, and David chose not to share. He wanted to keep all three items for himself. And Khan was like begging him. He's like, I'm going to give you information if you give me. He's like, no. He was still pissed off about his daughter. So I believe he chose the nuts right here, and some other jar, like a jar of preserves, I think, something over here. And that was his three items that he chose. But still, even after that, Khan's pretty much, because Khan kind of wanted to work with him so he can use that super idol. So he gave him some information and told him the reason that his daughter was voted out was because she took the tackle box and she was trying to search it for an idol right in front of everyone. And that's pretty much why she got voted out. That, and then Khan goes back to his tribe, and he was gonna lie about having the idol, but then he immediately decided to go against that, and he revealed that he has an idol. But what he didn't tell them was that it can be a super idol when combined. So they know he has an idol, and they know David has an idol, and from his tribe. David goes back to his tribe and decided to lie and say that he thought he found a clue, but it was actually just the packaging from the soap or whatever. But he thinks maybe Khan probably got it, but he didn't find anything. But he did tell them that he kept all 3 items for himself and didn't give anything to Khan. Right away, Sandra didn't believe him. I think the other players kind of believed him because most of them are just kind of brand new to the game, so they kind of believe them. All right, so he got away with that kind of, but still Sandra was already after him, so it didn't really matter if she believed him or not. All right, so Khan gained the trust of his tribe because he revealed the idol thing, even though he didn't reveal the part where it's a two-part idol. All right. Then we go to the immunity challenge. Oh, there we go. All right. Oops. All right, here's the immunity challenge. They have to run through these little spinning bars. I think the first one you have to go under, the second one you have to go over, and then under, then over again, and then under. So I think the lower ones on the end, you have to go below, and then the higher ones you have to go over. All right, as a team, and then they come to this stage, the whole team has to wait here, and one person goes forward and cut the logs. There's an axe right here. They have to cut the log, and the log falls down like a drawbridge over the moat over there. And then one by one, they have to balance over the beam, get to the other side. All right, here we go. All right, the people they chose to cut the log was David and Croc. David was kind of hitting the log straight on with the axe, and Croc was hitting it at a downward angle, letting gravity do a lot of the work. So he got more of the wood, and he cut through that way faster than David can even get there. And so right away, that gave the red team a lead. Hold on. All right. After that, they come to a second little log cutting event, and I think these two are cousins. I think one is George. I think this is Jordy and his cousin, whatever his name is, and they had to do the exact same thing with the log. And I think the one that pulled it out in this one was this guy, his cousin. I don't know, I can't remember what his cousin's name is, but he won that little log cutting. This guy took quite a while to cut through his. All right. All right, there we go. All right, after they finish cutting that log, they go up, they climb up a platform and then slide down to here to this station where four people now have to spin a chest that is tied to a chain around the log to unslack the chain in order to land the chest right here on their platforms. And after that, they take the blocks out of the chest and spell out a word, and it should be blood on one side, water on the other side. So it's like blood versus water is the name of the season. All right, so they have to do that. All right, they get to the last part, and There we go. And in the end, for the first time, we got the blue team winning the immunity. After winning twice in a row, losing twice in a row, they finally win. And they have that. So the red team have to go to tribal for the first time. All right, so immediately they're scrambling around, they don't know what to do. David come up with a plan to put most of the votes on Sandra, but in case Sandra has an idol, 3 people are going to vote for, what is her name? Kate, right. Kate, that is Andy's sister, the first person to get voted out. All right, so that is his plan, but he was kind of barking orders at people. And some guys didn't really like that and decided to go to Sandra and try to work with her and get a plan to get rid of David. So it became Sandra, David, and Kate now on the block, right? Yeah, just a lot of talking and going back and forth. They didn't really know what to do. David kind of got paranoid because a lot of people were just kind of talking, but having conversations with different people that didn't include him. He got paranoid and he started acting like his daughter. You can see where she got that from. All right, so they go to tribal and David spazzes out, and his number one ally, the person that was pushing everybody else to vote someone else to get to save him, he accused her of turning the votes against him because of his paranoia. And because of that, she immediately, see, she's Mark's wife or girlfriend, I believe. He accused her, and she was the one that wanted to save him. He accused her, and she immediately, after he did that, he tried to apologize, but then she was like, she was not having it. She tried to get everybody else to vote during the tribal. She turns and try to get everybody else to vote for David. So now we have a scramble. Most people are now going to be voting for David, and everyone's kind of forgetting about Sandra, and and it's just all because his paranoia and him saying something. Now, this is the thing that pissed me off about David. He has an idol. He could have literally, if he felt nervous, just take the idol out and show that he has it to intimidate people to not vote for him. But instead of doing that, he just scrambles and fumbles and throw one of his allies under the bus and try to apologize. I just couldn't, the amateurish move. Why would you go on the show where you can win money and not study it, not know how the game is played, not know what moves to make? It doesn't make sense. He's doing this, and so did Chrissy. I understand they're kind of older and maybe stuck in their ways, but learn the goddamn game, man. There's money on the line. It's a competition. It's just so frustrating to watch him play. He was such in a good spot. He had that idol in his pocket, a 2-part idol that can become a super idol. He was making moves, and he said he wanted to play this game now for his daughter because that was her dream. But then he just fumbles like this. All right, so they go to the vote, and just to be safe, they kind of split the vote, and now it become a vote between Dave and Kate. They vote for Kate, even though he was originally going to vote for Sandra. He changes his vote to Kate now. And just to be safe, what is her name? Sophie? The woman that Dave turned against, who was originally on his side, she decided to vote for Sandra just to be safe, after she turned everybody else against Dave and tried to get them to vote for Dave. And we get down to the voting, and Dave immediately plays his idol. 2-part idol, gone now because he's just terrible at this game. So he played the idol, as a half, it only has a power of just a normal idol. So it was a waste, but that's what he did. He played it to save himself, which he needed, because it came, most of the votes were on him. There was 1 vote for Sandra and 3 votes for Kate. And 1 of the votes was him. So 2 other people voted for Kate besides him. And he was saved, but now the entire tribe is pretty much against him because of the moves that he made. And Kate ended up going home. But yeah, but that was this week. It was very frustrating to watch what Dave just did, but it was kind of exciting. It was kind of exciting though. You know what? It's good that they kept Sandra, but she's so useless. I just wanted her to be gone just because I don't like seeing people that don't want to compete in competitions. I'm a competitive person. I hate laziness when it comes to competition. At least try. At least try. She's just garbage. Even during the immunity competition, since the red team had 2 more extra players, she immediately chose to sit out. She's just useless. Get rid of her. But there you have it. We're going to see what happens next with Dave. He's going to have to try to salvage his game. I don't know how well that's going to work, but he's going to have to pull a Brianna, his daughter, and start searching around frantically for idols. So till next time.